About the carbon. Carbon is a versatile element. What do we mean by versatile element? As I said, that organic chemistry, its discussion, right? Study about the organic chemistry, it revolves all around the carbon. So, what is the speciality of the carbon? What special features the carbon has so that it becomes a important part of such vast number of compounds? So, what is that special about the carbon? What is the versatile nature of carbon? So, let's understand the carbon. Let's understand it so that we may further understand all organic compounds. So, some unique properties that has been given to the carbon. Versatile nature means some unique properties that has been given to the carbon. Let us see what are those unique properties, right, that makes carbon a special element. Out of all the known elements, the carbon has some unique properties. However, each and every element is unique in nature, but still carbon has such properties that it can combine with very large number of atoms. Sometimes some element may combine with the other but may not combine with some other element. But carbon, talking about the carbon, it can combine with multiple elements, maximum number of elements. It is the most adjustable element, you may say. So the first property we have is catenation. Please understand it very well. This is, like I may say, a first important property, right, that makes carbon a versatile in nature, carbon a very special element in nature. So what do we mean by catenation? Catenation, it means the property to form the long chains. Carbon, one after the other, it can form the long chains, like something like this: carbon, 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 carbon. Infinite number of combinations are possible. You may take any other element, like let's say if you say sodium, 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 not possible. Sodium cannot combine with sodium, it cannot form such long chains. The one reason is sodium has a single valency, not at all possible, right? Even if you take a divalent atom, like let's say if you take copper, so copper, covalent bond copper, not possible. So only carbon has a property of catenation, that is forming the long chains. That is, one carbon can be covalently bonded to the other carbon, can be covalently bonded to the third carbon, can be covalently bonded to the fourth carbon. So with the help of covalent bond, it can form an infinite long train, or you can say a chain. No other element can do this. So this is one important property, catenation property, to form very long chain. How long? Just imagine, right? It's beyond your imagination. It can form a very, very long chain. One of the example is the polythene that we use. Polyethylene is the exact organic name. Polythene, a carry bag that we use. It is like you may say, it is a chain of carbon, infinitely long. You cannot count it. Tetravalency is the another property which makes carbon unique. Tetravalency, that means the four valencies the carbon has. Tetravalent it is in nature, it can form four covalent bonds with any element, multiple bonding. Apart from the tetravalency, right, apart from making single covalent bond, carbon can also form double bond. This way, like with oxygen, it can form double bond. It can also form triple bond, like with nitrogen. So apart from single covalent bond, it can also form double bond, it can also form triple bond. So multiple bond formation is another important feature that the carbon has got. Covalent bonds, right? So all the bonds that carbon makes are covalent in nature. It does not make any ionic bond. So carbon forms covalent bond, and the formation of the covalent bond helps carbon to combine with vast number of elements. I won't say all the elements, but vast number of elements. That is why I said that carbon is most adjustable in nature. So carbon's versatile nature allows it to be found in many different chemical compounds, including those found in space. So versatile nature, the first property, catenation, gives a versatility to the carbon. Tetravalency, 4 covalent bonds. Carbon can make multiple bond. It can form a single bond, it can form a double bond, it can form a triple bond, right? Then covalent bond, all the bonds formed by carbon are covalent in nature. That means sharing is the main property of carbon, and that is the reason why carbon can combine anyone. Like if you can also share your things with anyone, you would have got large number of friends. And if you are like little selfish, you don't share everything, right, you won't be like carbon. So if you want to be like carbon, right, combining with everyone, having friends everywhere, you must learn to share covalent bonds. So this is about the catenation in the carbon. Let's discuss all these properties. We will discuss in detail. So the first thing is catenation. I said that catenation means forming the chains. Carbon can form the chains. What type of chains? The simplest chains you have is a linear chain. One after the other, covalent bonds, right? It can form linear chain. Branched chain, since carbon has tetravalency, right? Apart from forming a straight chain, there may be some such type of branches depending upon the compound, right? If you try to analyze the structure of glucose, if you try to analyze the structure of you may say proteins, right? If you may try to visualize or analyze, or if you have seen the structure of fat, right, such type of branchings are seen. So branch chain catenation, under the catenation carbon may form branch chain, carbon may form linear chain, carbon may also form ring chains. It can also form rings. So see, catenation in itself has multiple features. So that is the why the carbon is versatile in nature. It can form branch chain, it can form linear chain, it can form rings, right? Bonding in the carbon, right? Covalent bonding is possible. Like you can see here, this is the straight chain, linear chain compound. This is a branch chain. This is one linear chain and there is one branch over here, right? So carbon also readily forms bond with other carbon atoms. Apart from other elements, carbon can also form bond with same carbon, right? Means carbon with carbon with carbon. Straight chain, branch chains or ring chains. So it can form single bond, it can form double bond, it can form triple bonds, right? This is the some notation, some simple notations. As you go through the lecture, you will understand what these things represent, right? This is some cyclic structure, or you can say a ring structure, right? Everywhere one thing is to be noticed, that carbon is tetravalent. So whenever you write carbon, can you identify tetravalency here? No, you can just see a one single bond. So what about remaining bonds? For this carbon, if it has a one covalent bond with other carbon, where are the three other valencies, or where are the three other bonds? You can assume that when such bonds are not shown, when other bonds are not shown, you can assume that they are bonded to the hydrogen by default. So if I write, carbon bonded to the carbon, if I write carbon bonded to the carbon, by default you may say that carbon is attached to the carbon. Additionally, its tetravalency, so one bond is satisfied here, other three bonds will be satisfied by the hydrogen, and same for the other carbon, right? This carbon, now its tetravalency is satisfied, you can see this. Now coming to this carbon, one of the valencies here and other three valencies are with the hydrogen. So mind it. So writing this way, right, you can see here this carbon also, it's two valencies, 1 2, and this is 3 and 4. They are given free in the sense anything may be attached. So as I said, carbon can attach with anything. This is some, you can say, a general notation, like a formula, a general formula in which carbon, like here you can attach hydrogen, maybe any other, like you can also attach chlorine, or you can also attach fluorine over here. So when bonds are free, anything is attached. But like here, when I write single bond C, the bonds are not shown free. Mind it, here the bonds are not shown free. So by default, there are 3 hydrogens. And when bonds are shown free, that means anything can be attached over there. Triple bond, so only one bond is free. So that is the bonding in carbon. It can form single bond, it can form double bond, it can form triple bond, right? Whenever the bonds are not shown, to complete the tetravalency, you may add hydrogen. Please note it, mind it. Whenever the bonds are not shown completely, like this, right? How do you make this compound complete? There is only one bond over here. So for this carbon, other 3 bonds are with 3 hydrogen, and for this carbon also other 3 bonds are with the another hydrogens.